The United Way's Day of Caring is finally here. We've been previewing this day for about a month now, and we're so excited to show you what's happening. The safety of our children is a parent's #1 concern. We're taking an in-depth look at school safety across our area. A man accused of running an illegal gambling business appeared in court today. This is tonight's top story at 5. At least one person is in critical condition following a car accident on Cemetery Road this morning. We're covering all aspects of the big game today. We'll check in with Chad Bishop, who's in Madison Square Garden with the Tops, and Dalton Godby is standing by at Diddle Arena, where fans are getting ready to gather together for the big game. But those aren't all the only headlines coming from the Hill today. Let's send it over to Mike Clough, who has breaking news regarding the Lady Tops basketball coach. And clearly, there's a lot of excitement in New York City and back here on the Hill about the big game. Many students on campus and even people around the community expressed their excitement about watching WKU in the NIT. Even though the Tops didn't make it to the NCAA tournament, students say this tournament still provides the school with a lot of national attention. The big game is at 6 o'clock in the Big Apple, and you can stream us for 13 News at 6 on your smartphone app while cheering on the Hilltoppers. Thanks so much, Shane. We're getting closer to game time for the Tops, so wave your red towel as we head over to one of our favorite WKU fans, Darby Bean. And Darby, there is a lot of red towel waving going on in Bowling Green and here at WBKO today. It's so much fun to pull out your red towels and to reminisce. I've had mine. I call it vintage. I've had it since my freshman year at WKU, and it's still in one piece. Attorney General Andy Beshear has secured nearly $2.8 million for the state after a settlement with banking giant Wells Fargo. The bank will pay all 50 states and Washington, D.C. $575 million after it admitted in 2016 to opening more than 3 million fake bank and credit card accounts. Beshear says the funds for Kentucky will be placed into the state's general fund for lawmakers to appropriate during the 2020 legislative budget session. Wells Fargo has already paid hundreds of millions of dollars for misleading investors about its sales practices. The Federal Reserve will not allow Wells Fargo to grow its assets until it's satisfied the bank has cleaned up its act. It's day 7 of the partial government shutdown, and President Trump is threatening to close the entire U.S.-Mexico border if the border wall he's seeking remains unfunded. As Kenneth Moten reports today, the Secretary of Homeland Security made a trip to El Paso, Texas, following the deaths of 2 migrant children in U.S. custody. Some of those affected, the Environmental Protection Agency, who will run out of money if the government shutdown continues. Officials said that if a solution isn't reached by midnight tonight, EPA workers will be placed on furlough, affecting nearly 14,000 workers. And the Smithsonian said all museums, research centers, and the National Zoo will be closed starting January 2nd if the shutdown continues past the first of the year. Officials say the animals will continue to be fed and cared for during the shutdown.